Hello and welcome to this latest edition of Lush Kitchen Menu. Yes, brought to you in association with food and moi, myself, one Jennifer, I don't know what I'm talking about, moving on. So it's been almost 2 weeks since I did my last kitchen menu, and I want to say I'm so sorry that last week just didn't appear. I actually did film 90% of it on the Friday evening, and then just the weekend just escaped me. It really did. My weekends are very much like a train falling off the edge of a cliff. They are just gone before you know it. So as I said on a previous video, I actually quite like the way the Lush Kitchen are working this year, as in they're bringing out menus that have a majority of products that have come out before, and then a couple of new products, 1 or 2 new products every single week, or most weeks, for us that want to try new things. And there are 2 products that are making their debut appearance in the Lush Kitchen this week. Let's just get on with the menu. So we start up on Monday with, and I'm going to pronounce this correctly, Quinquireme. Doesn't sound right to me. Soap. Correct me if I'm wrong. I really should learn the names of some of these products. I know most of them, there's just the odd one that's a bit of a tongue twister, or ones that I just look at and try and pronounce and they don't come out right, but I think it's Quinquireme, I think. It just doesn't sound right when I actually say it out loud, but when I say it in my head, it makes sense. This is a very boring looking soap. It's just a block of white soap, but it's a very nice scent, a very enjoyable, very warming scent. And this week's Lush Kitchen menu is dedicated to mums. I can't really relate to the menu and my mum because my mum can't use Lush cosmetic products, which is why I make up for her by using twice as many as a normal person would. She'd much rather have a bottle of wine and a box of chocolates and a Johnny Depp movie than Lush products. I don't feel like I'm actually related to my mum now. I feel like quite distant from her. I feel like I need to get a new mum. I feel like I need to get a new family. I don't think any of my family use Lush. My friends don't even use Lush. I don't know why in the middle of a Lush Kitchen video I've just worked that out, that nobody I know, aside from if I force products upon them, actually uses Lush. Either my enthusiasm has completely put them off, or they're just weirdos. Or both. This soap is named after a John Masefield poem, and the poem is about Quinquireme, and it was famously known for its amazing cargo full of spices and oils and jewellery and gold and riches and treasures and all of these amazing things. So the soap's key ingredients are orange absolute, vanilla absolute and benzoin resinoid. And the smell that you get is something that I have put in my review and I completely stand by. It smells very much like Curly Wurly shampoo, but not as pungent. It's a coconutty sort of smell with a little bit of sweetness in there, a bit of musk, a bit of vanilla. If you like things like I Should Cocoa soap, Curly Wurly shampoo, and all of those sort of gentle but thick and creamy coconutty smells, you'll probably quite like this. It's not straightforward coconut. There is a difference between Curly Wurly and this, but that's the best way for me to describe it. What I found on my last blog, which I bought from the kitchen last year, was that there's nothing in the ingredients list and there's nothing looking at the piece of soap that suggests that it would be at all exfoliating. But what I found was, when I was rubbing it against my skin, I found this very slight gritty texture. Not really gritty as in scrub like gritty, but it almost felt like there was sort of tiny little bits of coconut in there, and I don't know whether that was the process that the soap went through or whether it's just, I don't know, a mistake, or whether it was supposed to be like that, but I found that I could sort of feel very rough but very gentle rough. That's an oxymoron, but a very gentle scratchy sort of consistency. So it does sort of give you a little bit of an exfoliation alongside cleaning. What I did notice is that because of the ingredients, it's one of those soaps that will melt down very quickly. I would not suggest that you stand in the shower and hold this under the water, because this would last you maybe 2 weeks maximum if you did that. This is a soap that you really have to sort of stand out of the way of the water, wash it over, step back into the water, and when you're finished, please make sure you pat it dry and you put it to the side, because if you leave it in its muck, best way of putting that, Jen, well done. It will shrink very quickly and you'll just get a gooey, blobby, white mess thing. Oh God, a mess of soap on the side of your bathroom. That is what I meant to say, a mess of soap. It's not one I'm going to buy just because I don't do soaps. Let's not go down that route again. I don't do soaps, do I? I don't do soaps. I do soaps. Got about 40 sitting right there in front of me or to the right of me, but I don't really technically do soaps. So the other product coming out on Monday is a debut, which is the Tea and Sympathy Bath Bomb. Now this bath bomb is exciting because it's the first time I've ever tried this, and I've not actually tried it yet. But to look at, just like the Lotta Iota Bath Bomb from last week, to look at, it really wouldn't win any awards, and in fact this one's looking quite sad. Let's have a look at this part here. Look at this. This bath bomb is sort of falling apart and it's actually really fresh and new, so this could be an indication of what the batch are going to be like when they're made. What is really strange about this bath bomb again, and I've never had this before in any other Lush bath bomb, this could be that this one is faulty, or it could just be that this is what it's going to be like. We'll have to see when they arrive, because I will be buying some fresh ones. This is slightly soft. When I squeeze this, it gives way slightly between my fingers, which intrigues me a little bit, because at the same time the bath bomb feels heavier and feels more compact than your typical bath bomb from Lush. It's the same size as a normal bath bomb, but if I was to compare it to an intergalactic, because you have to compare everything to an intergalactic, this one feels heavier. This one feels like it'd be more compact, it would weigh more, and yeah, it's squidgy. It's slightly squidgy. I don't want to squidge it too much because I'm going to use this today. As the name suggests, this bath bomb is supposed to smell like tea. And it does and it doesn't. Some people have said it smells like green tea. Some people say it smells like white tea. This could be true in the bath, but for me right now sniffing it, it smells a little bit to me like Indian chai tea, but with a lot of the spices taken away from that tea, even though that's what makes it chai tea. It's very slightly sweet. It's slightly musky. I feel like there's some jasmine in there. Is there any jasmine in there? I need to do some research. Is there jasmine in this bath bomb? There's not jasmine in this bath bomb. I don't know what it is. It's very slightly musky with a bit of resinous going on as well. And I know there's a libanum oil in here, and that sort of gives it an incensey, musky, I don't want to say vanilla-y because it's not really vanilla-y, but sweet, powdery smell. It's definitely one that would be suited to a dusting powder. It would really work well as a body lotion. It's very gentle. If I hold it here, I can't smell the bath bomb. It's one that you have to get up close to and smell. And I don't quite know whether this will have an impact when it's in the water. At the same time, I'm quite intrigued. And I've not read much about this actually, in all fairness. This one here, I don't quite know, but I feel like there's something in the middle. It looks like there is something in the middle. Oh my goodness, I've just moved the bath bomb and it's almost broken in half. I need to stop. If I do this, I'm probably going to break it on camera now. Look at this. There is something in the middle. And I have a feeling I know what it is. I think it's actually a tea bag. This is the first time I'm discovering this, honestly, but I've pretty much pulled that apart, haven't I? I've destroyed that one. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's really squidgy. I'm guessing the impact of the tea bag inside this is what makes it squidgy. But I'm excited to try it. If you like gentle smells, I think you should try this one. It's quite a nice one. I don't think it's going to be a smell that anyone could possibly have an adverse effect to. Nothing too potent. Nothing that's going to be particularly spectacular, but just sometimes you need something gentle and warming. And I think this with the Quinquireme, I don't know, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I think those two would go well together. They smell very different, but I think they go well together. I'm going to put that down before I break that in half. The first product coming up on Tuesday is something called the Wonder Woohoo Bubble Bar. Now this is one that I was really hoping would come back, and it came back last year for the first time in a kitchen, and I was really, really happy. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to be honest and say I'm not going to open it on camera for you just because this is my last one, and I used one this morning in the bath before I did this video, and I sort of don't want to have this one unwrapped because I have an awful lot of bath bombs on the floor right now that need to be used first, and the second I unwrap one I feel like I have to use it up because it's not fresh anymore. But this is Wonder Woohoo. It is a gold coated bubble bar and it has a little red star on the top, and it first came out I believe 2014 I think, and it shares its scent with the Sun liquid perfume. So bright, zesty, citrusy, lots and lots and lots of very fresh smelling orange. As well as this you have a little bit of mimosa and you have a little bit of sandalwood, so it grounds the orange smell slightly. It's not really tangy like I sometimes find the liquid perfume can be, which is very bright and zesty but also slightly tangy. This doesn't seem to have that tang element. It's just very bright, very fresh smelling. Does very much smell like a freshly squeezed orange actually, but the sandalwood sort of brings that grounding layer underneath, which is really lovely because citrus smells do tend to disperse a lot quicker than other smells. It's nice to have sandalwood in there just to bring it down. Mimosa's in there and mimosa in there, which is a floral smell. You don't really get a floral smell with this, but what it does is again it sort of elevates the different notes of flavour, or smell, not flavour, we don't eat these things, Jen. Elevates the smell of these while also the sandalwood grounding it. If I was to do a visual representation of what the mimosa does, let's imagine that the orange oil is balloons. So the balloons are flying off into the sky and the sandalwood are the little children underneath holding the balloons together, making sure they don't flow off too far, and the mimosa is the breeze in the middle, blowing them backwards and forwards so they move out and sort of spread themselves out without going too far off. I have no idea what I just said. and why I said it, and whether or not you've even taken anything from that. But very intellectual this week, I think. I'm now going into the science behind ingredients. This turns the bath water. It's sort of like gold, but without the physical shine of the gold. It's really lovely, smells gorgeous. You can split this into 2 to 3 baths. I tend to use it across 2 baths. Very softening in the water. That is the Wonder Woohoo Bubble Bar, and this will be perfect for summer months because it's nice and bright and airy and refreshing. So also coming up on Tuesday is More Than Mortal Body Scrub. Now this is a product that I hold dear to my heart. I just had to work out whether I had my hand on the right side of my heart then. Wow. But this is a product that I really liked when I first tried it. I was able to visit the Lush kitchen, which was an absolute dream come true, and the whole way through that first experience I was just in shock that I was there and I was meeting the wonderful people behind and I was getting involved, and I was asked to choose a selection of products that I would like to make, and they were going to pick one as a surprise and tell me what I was going to make on the day. And it turned out that I was making More Than Mortal Body Scrub, which I was so happy about because I ended up getting a lovely box a few days later with about 20 of these. And this is my last one. This is so upsetting. This is my last one. And what I love about this, look at this, look at this. Simple pleasures for simple people. But I actually have my name on a Lush product. I actually made this product. Well, with Peter as well, because if I did it by myself, it wouldn't exactly be usable. More Than Mortal Body Scrub is beautiful. So the main ingredient, first of all, if we go away from smell for a second, is kaolin clay. And kaolin clay, not only, and I can't really show you this one because this one's frozen because I've been collecting them, look. Lots of ice coming off here. The kaolin clay is what gives it its consistency. So when you actually scrub it across your body, and it's a whole body scrub, you can use it on your face as well. When you scrub it across your body, it is very clay-like. It is very thick. It's not, for example, like a cup of coffee that's quite thin and quite runny. It is very, very thick, and you get that sort of clay consistency when you're using it. Clay is great, fantastic, like a natural cleaner of the skin. So you really get a good clean with that. At the same time, it absorbs any excess grease and moisture. So if you're somebody of an oily complexion, this is great for picking those all up without damaging or taking too many away. So alongside the kaolin, it also features lime oil, fresh pineapple, and I can vouch that it is fresh pineapple. I had to cut those pineapples up to put it into making this. And it also features apricot oil, which just smells so good. Together, they just do so many things for your skin. They brighten, they clean out your pores, they refreshen you, they make you feel radiated, they bring out your natural colour. They are so, so good and so rich without being greasy, without being too much. At the same time, you also have star anise. At the same time, you also have lavender oil, and you have grapefruit oil. So grapefruit oil's up there with all the lime and the apricot and the pineapple. But at the same time, the lavender oil also helps to keep your skin calm because there are a lot of acidic ingredients in this. And there's also a lot of ingredients to help exfoliate. And if you're scratching away at your skin while also putting loads and loads of different oils on, what you're going to happen is you're just going to irritate your skin. And your skin's going to go, yeah, off you go, not interested. And then you'll come out in blotches and rashes and scratches, etc. So the lavender oil is there to sort of bring things down a bit, keep it nice and calm. It's like the friend on the outside that's sort of like, come on guys, it's all right, relax, chill, chill, all cool here, right, all cool, yeah? So the lavender oil does that. This is such a great exfoliator. I love the feeling of this on my skin. It features ground almonds and it features ground walnuts, and those two combined are just the perfect exfoliation. They are not scratchy. At the same time, you can apply as much pressure as you want, and if you want something that's really exfoliating, just, oh! I love scrubbing skin off. I just love it. I don't know why. I shouldn't do it. It's not good for my skin. But I just love to really, really scratch my skin up with an exfoliator. If you want a gentle exfoliation, just a nice little gentle touch. What is interesting about this product is it's got a very basic smell, and I say this all the time, and I'm hoping some people agree with me. It just smells of, oh, it's just come out of its shell there. This smells to me like squash, cordial. I don't know what you call it in different countries, but cordial that you mix with water and drink. It just smells like orange and pineapple squash, basically. Now, what I'm going to say, this went out of date. Well, apparently it's not out of date. Apparently it goes out of date on the 30th of May this year. But I need to warn you, this has a long shelf life. In theory, it doesn't have a long shelf life when you get it. If you buy more than one, please, please, for the love of God, put them in the freezer. Because the problem with this is the second any sort of heat, and I mean any sort of heat, I mean if you just leave this in the bathroom for a couple of days and have a couple of hot showers or baths, a lovely beautiful layer of mould will grow on the top of that. All of Lush products are incredibly fresh, but this one just seems to be fresher because it doesn't last. There's not anything in there that's going to preserve it, and for that reason it will go off very quickly. So if you're getting more than one, if you want to bulk buy, please do, because they do last. This one has been in the fridge, well, when did I go to the Lush kitchen? Over a year ago. I think I'm long overdue another visit, guys. I need to go back. I need to make some more of this. Me and Peter were a good team. More Than Mortal needs to be put in the freezer. At the same time, if you just put one or two, please keep them in the fridge. And I would suggest when you finish using it, because this is one that only really lasts 2 or 3 times. If you're doing a full body scrub, it's not going to last more than a couple of uses. Please, when you've finished, dab it down and put it back in the fridge. Do not leave it in your bathroom. Believe me when I say mould grows on this quicker than any other Lush product I've ever had, and it's amazing in the freezer. And when you defrost it, again, put it back in the freezer when you've finished. It really is perfect for the summer. I'm sort of jumping the gun here, but it's perfect for the summer when you want something ice cool. Get this out of the freezer, tip it out of the pot, scrub yourself down. Oh my goodness. I don't know how many of these I'm going to buy now, but I'm going to buy more than I was going to 5 minutes ago. Please put it in the freezer. It's a great product. I'd highly recommend it. And I've just been reminded about a week or so ago, I thought I cheated twice because I bought a Dorothy bubble bar, but somebody kindly reminded me that actually Dorothy bubble bar has never been out in the kitchen. So I didn't cheat by buying one of those, which means that this is going to be my second cheat of the year. Holds a place in my heart. The heart's on the left-hand side. Again, I had to think that. Should I really be a teacher? Coming up on Wednesday, we start with Tiptoe Through the Tulips soap. This is a rather interesting soap. I thought I actually had a slab of it, but I'm quite disappointed to find that I don't. I'm not too disappointed because I don't really use soaps, but you know, it would have been nice to have one to show you. So Tiptoe Through the Tulips soap is a green, sort of translucent block, and it has decorations of kaffir leaves and rose, which are sort of decorated under the surface slightly, and they come up when you use it in the shower. This one features 4 main floral components. It features rose, it features geranium, it features lavender, and it features a 4th one which I've just forgotten about. It features violets. What I quite liked about this soap is that it doesn't smell like anything that Lush have brought out, which is good, because you just imagine with Lush, they're constantly bringing out products with lavender and rose, especially violets. It's amazing how just a slight sort of different variation of flavours and scents and ingredients can bring about completely different flavours and scents. I keep saying flavours, I don't mean flavours. I think it's because I'm fixated on my lunch, which is sitting down here beside me. I meant smells. This one is quite a unique smell. What I like about it is it really does, as the name suggests, tiptoeing through the tulips, it really does smell like you're walking through a freshly cut garden and you're picking up all of those different components around you. So it is sort of a green floral smell. It is not musky. It is not dry. It is not powdery. It's very fresh. And I think it's the inclusion of the lime and the kaffir leaves in there that sort of elevate and boost up those floral elements. So it smells like freshly cut flowers, but an arrangement of freshly cut flowers. So you don't just get one particular component. Just like the soap on Monday, of which I am not going to name because I don't have to anymore, this one lathers up really, really well. In fact, I was so surprised to find how much it lathered up. I thought it was going to be very rigid, very stubborn, but it wasn't. It lathered up really lovely, and you get a thick, creamy, foamy sort of lather to use. On the other hand, what is bad about it is the fact that because it lathers up so effectively and so quickly, you do tend to find yourself using a lot more than you need to. So again, it's another soap that I would highly suggest you step out of the way of the water when you're using. Also coming up on Wednesday is the Luverly Bath Bomb. Now, as I've said time and time again, I am not necessarily a floral person. I don't have a problem with floral smells. I just don't get particularly excited by the idea of a new floral smell. I'm much more of a citrusy, fruity person. But when I saw Luverly for the first time a couple of years ago when the Lush Kitchen first brought it out, I was very intrigued. It's a very beautiful bath bomb. It's different. It's not the typical spherical round one. It's designed to look like a rose or a flower, a pinky, sort of pastel pink colour with little decorations of rose on the top. When it arrived, it weighed about about the same as your typical spherical bath bomb, so it's not any smaller, not any bigger. It looks bigger, but it's because it's slightly thinner than a typical bath bomb. What I did enjoy about it is that it's named after Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady. When it is ebbing out those beautiful pastel pink colours, it looks like a nice little flower floating on the surface of the bath. So in that way, it's really lovely and beautiful. The smell is very much rose dominated, but again, I'm going to go through the usual spiel. No, it is not rose jam. No, it is not like any other rose smell you've tried. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as pungent as something like Rose Absolute. When I think about the Rose Bombshell, that's very pungent, very musky, very powdery, very thick. It's not like that at all. It's a much gentler, sweeter, but slightly heady rose smell. If I was to compare it to other bath bombs, I think I'm going to use the same comparison that I did on my blog. It smells closer to something like Softy, the bath bomb that came out a little while ago, and Romance in the Stone, so more of that sort of rose smell than Rose Jam, Rose Bombshell, etc. So this bath bomb features ylang ylang, jasmine and geranium, which is strange because I smell rose when I smell that, and that just could be my nose broken. But I smell the rose when I smell this bath bomb. I would say it's slightly musky. Not overly musky, not strong in your face musky, but slightly musky. It's not really a bath bomb that I was enamoured with because I'm not a pink person. I'm not really a flowery person. It's not a bath bomb that blew me away. I think if you like that sort of thing, you're going to love it. If I remember correctly, this one sold out fairly quickly last time it came out, and I was quite surprised by how quickly it sold out. On to Thursday, and we start with the Madame Butterfly Reusable Bubble Bar. This one I genuinely thought I had, and I realised I actually have the Mum Reusable Bubble Bar. But Madame Butterfly is, unless it's changed from last year, it's a little thing about this big, pink. It's on a reusable bubble bar stick, and it shares its scent with Rose Jam. It's one of the smaller reusable bubble bars, but I still think you get the same amount of life out of it. I tend to use it across 3 to 4 bars. It turned my water nice and pink. It was definitely very moisturising. It does smell of Rose Jam, but it's not on the same length as, again, I keep saying Rose Bombshell. That just seems to be the one that sticks in my head every time I think of Rose Jam. It's not like that. It's very strong. If you like Rose Jam, but you like more of the Rose Jam shower gel, the Rose Jam shower jelly, or the perfume, this is more like that. It's more of a gentle smell. You don't get so much of an overpowering rose smell. It's like rose and sweet and a bit of lemon thrown in there for good measure. I don't think I need to tell you that this is going to be popular because it's Rose Jam. And I was just about to say, well, I don't really know why Rose Jam's so popular, but actually I sort of love Rose Jam quite a bit. I've been using Rose Jam pretty much every day for the last month, so actually I can see why it's popular. There's nothing much else to say about that, really. I've got a full review on my blog if you want to see that. Again, not one I'm going to buy. I'd quite like to have one. At the same time, I don't need any more bath products. And the second product coming out on Thursday is the Washing Up Fairy Reusable Bubble Bar. This little beauty is the cutest thing. Just look at it. Ah. This is not supposed to be used in the bath, and if I drip everywhere, it's because I've actually used this earlier to try it out. This is supposed to be used in replacement of washing up liquid. Now, I know I've had some comments about this, and I know there's going to be an uproar because some people will not research this product before they make the comment. Well, Jen, isn't this a bit sexist that for your mum you buy her a replacement for washing up liquid? Chill guys, chill guys. You know Lush? Lush know what they're doing, they're fairly well educated. This is not supposed to be a product that you buy your mum and say, there you go mum, when you wash up my plates now, use this. This is supposed to be a product that you buy to give to your mum to say, mum, I'm going to do the washing up and I'm going to use this. And it's like a little promise between yourself and your mum, or your dad, or whoever does the washing up, that actually you'll take your turn and do your washing up as well. So it's not supposed to be a present that you give to your mum or your dad or whoever does the washing up in the house to say, well, you're clearing all my plates away, but I thought about you when you're clearing all my stuff away, use this instead. It's supposed to be a promise that you give to them and say, I'll do the washing up and I'll use this. So what is great about this product, first of all, is this is so much better than the one I had a couple of years ago when it first came out. In fact, it was more than 2 years ago. I think it was 3 to 4 years ago. It's much bigger. I can tell you that now. It is much bigger than the original one, and I love the colours because the original one was not green, it was yellow with a pink fairy, and the one's green, and you know me in green. Green Power Rangers, woohoo! And reminds me a little bit of Secret Garden Bath Bomb that came out a couple of weeks ago. Would pair really nicely with that, I think. I'm going to say you probably could use this in the bath as well. I've not tried it yet, I will try it, but I'm pretty sure that you could use this in the bath. It may not be as moisturising, or it may be too moisturising, I don't know. But the whole idea of this is that rather than using washing up liquid and having the big bottle, just swish this underneath the tap for a few seconds, or swish a little bit around in the water, and it creates bubbles, but it also creates a water that is then suitable for you to clean your plates and your cutlery, etc. And it does work. I will tell you this now. I'm not just saying it because it's Lush. It does really, really work. And the whole idea as well is that when you wash up, for example, I know I do it all the time, even though we use the vegan alternative, when I wash up afterwards, I sort of get dryness in between my hands. And if I wash up too many times in 1 week because I've done extra cooking, or whatever it may be, or I've baked or something, I do notice my hands get fairly dry. The whole idea of this little fella, or female, is that it's supposed to also moisturise your hands as well, and it does work. So once you've done your washing up and you towel yourself down and you dry your hands down, you will not be left with that sort of horrible, dry, rigid feeling where your hands feel like they're going to crack. The only thing I'm going to say is you've got to think carefully about where to keep this when you're not using it, because again, I've only kept it on the side of my sink, and you can see that it's still wet, and if I left it festering there, I can imagine it shrinking a little bit. So I'd say again, towel it down each and every time, and perhaps leave it on something that's not going to then get wet before you use it next time. This will last you ages. I know the fairy washing up liquid have those adverts where they say, oh my goodness, it takes so long for one bottle to finish, so my poor little son can't make his aeroplane. This is the same, but probably even longer, because as I said on Instagram yesterday, or today, depending on when this video comes out, this product lasted me almost a year. Honestly, almost a year of washing up. So for the price of £5.95, I think it is more than worth it. I think it's £5.95. I've just plucked that amount out of my head. It's probably £6.95. Whatever the price is, it is worth it. This is just nice and bright, lemony goodness. Nothing of any sort of depth to it, but you don't need that. This is for washing your hands as well as washing up. On to Friday in the Lush kitchen, and we start with one of my favourite soaps. It is Ooh La La soap. I'm being lazy right now, and I'm not going to go and get my piece of soap. I have a piece constantly in use in the bathroom, and I love it. Just like Icon soap, it is one of those that just grabs me, a bit like Vanilla in the Mist, a bit like Sunny Citrus. I was not expecting to love this soap, and it is so rich, so decadent, so sultry, and so beautiful to look at that it is definitely worth it. I've realised now I have a second slab in my box over there, which is 2.5 metres away, and that's still too much effort to leave my bed. So I'm sorry guys, you'll just have to make do with the picture on my blog. So Ooh La La soap is, I love it. For a starter, the colour, a really rich, deep purple colour, and it's decorated on the top with a little floral arrangement just for you. The fresh lavender petals and the fresh rose petals on the top of this it's a work of art. It's pure beauty. It is inspired by the herb fields of Provence, which are these lavender fields that just stretch for as far as the eye can see, for miles and miles and miles, and you get this beautiful sort of rich purple colour just from where you're standing right into the distance. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's inspired by that. You have a honeysuckle and a marigold infusion, you have lavender, and then to sort of give it a sweetness, because when you smell it, you smell sort of like a floral herbal smell, but it's a very rich one, but there's also something slightly sweet about it, and that's because it has red grape juice, which I think is part of the reason why it has such a beautiful colour, but also that rich red grape juice, which is sweet but at the same time very sultry, elevates all those smells up to the surface. What also stands out for me is both the thyme and the rosemary that are featured, and you can smell them from the get-go. They are not overly powering, but they do stand exactly alongside the lavender to give you the sort of lavender, herbal, lovely, soothing smell. Together, the thyme, the rosemary and the lavender are the key components. As if it doesn't need any more praise from me, it lathers up beautifully. Again, a thick, foamy, slightly oily lather, which is so moisturising on the skin. Not as much as a shower gel. A soap will never moisturise as much as a shower gel, but it is very close to, and it leaves its scent on your skin. If I had to recommend any soap from Lush, this would make my top 10 for sure. And we finish up our menu with a bath bomb called Waving Not Drowning. So Waving Not Drowning is this bath bomb here. Very, very small, and it's very, very herbal, very, very gentle. It's a lovely pastel purple colour, if you look at that a little bit closely. This one features lavender as the key ingredient, but it also features ylang ylang and it features fennel. When I smell this, first and foremost, I smell lavender, and it's a very gentle lavender, sort of the same sort of lavender you'd smell in Dream Cream. Very herbal, very natural smelling. There's nothing musky about it or sweet about it or overproduced about it. The fennel is only really something I noticed because I know it's in here, and I can now smell that it is in here, but it's not one that really makes much of an impression at all. And when it goes into the bath, this one sort of stays the same in terms of scent wise. It doesn't lose its scent, but at the same time doesn't gain any scent. This one is one that would go well with something like Ickle Baby Bot, Ickle Baby Devil, Ickle Baby Angel, all of those ones. It's very similar in smell to those. I can't say I'm overly impressed by it in the water because this pastel purple colour just dissipates so quickly because there's so much water in the bath and so little bath product to go in. It does make me calm. I used to use this alongside the Dream Cream bath oil. I would also pair this with the French Kiss Bubble Bar, another lavender induced one that is very similar. On the positive side, I did find that I was very relaxed after using one of these, but I think the inclusion of the lavender helps to do that, despite the fact that actually this bath bomb loses its scent quite quickly in the water. Maybe it sort of creates an atmosphere while the scent sort of disperses too much. And there we have the Lush kitchen video for this week. Let's hope this video surfaces on the internet and I haven't wasted my entire Saturday evening talking to nobody but a camera. Just a quick promotion as well. I like to promote things. I am wearing Amorous, the lipstick from Lush. Obviously, I'm not going to wear a non-Lush lipstick, am I? Amorous from Lush, and I'm loving this right now. I wore this last night on a very special occasion that I'm not going to talk about on camera, but I wore this out last night and it must have been lucky, but I put this on with a brush rather than directly putting it from the tube onto my lips, and I just like the fact it's really subtle and gentle but nothing too. So this is something I could probably wear to work. But that was just my quick promotion. So if you're deciding on a lipstick to get, have a look at Amorous. It's a lovely colour. Top 3 products of the week. I have to say, More Than Mortal. I love this one and I'm going to buy some. Second top product of the week, I'm going to have to say the Washing Up Liquid Fairy Reusable. No, Washing Up Fairy Reusable Bubble Bar. And third favourite product of the week has got to be Ooh La La Soap. I hope you've enjoyed this Lush Kitchen video. People ask me every single week. I will try to do a video every single week. I cannot promise. We have 2 weeks until the Easter holidays and then I am going to be doing lots and lots of videos. I promise I will do a collection video in the Easter holidays. I promise I will do some top 10 videos. I will do an empties video. I have got so much planned for the Easter holidays. Lots and lots of videos for you guys. So please don't lose faith in me. Please don't unsubscribe and stop talking to me because that just makes me sad. But I will promise you lots more videos, not just Lush Kitchen videos. And until next time, take care. Ow. Bye.